What's up, everybody? Today we're doing something a little bit different. I've got the ever reliable Chloe girlfriend here. Um, if you guys hear a bit of an echo, apologies for that. We are, of course, living together and in the same room, so it's gonna be hard to do that. And I would ask her to mute and unmute, but that's annoying, so we're not gonna do that. But but yeah, we're gonna do it up a little bit. So today we're going to do a red flags tier list. Not a red flags tier list, a green flags tier list. Um, what? Nick, quit being afraid of Chloe, even though you see her multiple times a week.
I'm gonna see you in like 2 hours.
um, so we are going to so we're going to be doing a green flags tier list. I want to do a red flags tier list, but I'm a little bit iffy about whether or not I want to actually do that because like I feel like a huge reason that's contributing to the loneliness crisis is like so many people being like, oh, like oh, this person has any flaws, well, you can't be wasting your time because you gotta focus on yourself. You gotta be, you gotta be, like they don't deserve me, and stuff like that. Like, and like no one's willing to stick it out, and so of course no one's sticking together because like if everyone back in the day did that, we probably would have gone extinct. But now people are being more picky and choosy, and they refuse to like help people through their issues because everyone's like becoming like if I can put my own judgments into it, a little bit more self-centered. They're becoming less tolerant of wasting time, which I do think is like a larger mental health issue that's bleeding into that. But regardless, I thought it would be a little bit more wholesome to like start with a green flags tier list, and that way, we can just we can do a little bit more positive stuff. And if we feel like people would be responsible enough that they wouldn't be offended, they'd know that it's our own personal takes and stuff. I just wanted to talk about how good certain qualities are to have in relationships, and also just as a fun thing, share our own biases regarding it. So, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. And also, if there's any issues with her audio, like where it's like she needs to be louder or quieter, let me know because I can just adjust that on the Streamlabs. So very first thing, we have admits mistakes. Um, I mean, I would think absolutely necessary. I think that that's like literally like if you don't admit your mistakes, then like I think the most divorces have been caused from people not admitting mistakes.
Yeah.
Like because if you admit it, I guess it depends on the way you admit a mistake, but like you have to at least admit the mistake. Like not every way you admit a mistake is going to be good, but like also you can't just not admit mistakes. So good conversationalists. I would say doesn't really matter. I don't.
For me,
For you, it's necessary.
it's
For me, it
necessary.
doesn't matter because I because like that. This is just like an unfair question to do as like a duo because like I feel like I'm like a really good conversationalist and
I'm a bad
you're good
conversationalist.
at conversation when you don't have to carry it. Like I feel like
Yeah,
a better
that's
a
fair.
better thing would be like good starting off conversationalist sort of thing. But
Yeah.
I still think it. Okay, let's do. Okay, that's an extra bonus because I feel like it's. I feel like that's not only in the middle of what we both said, but also like, it's just like, it helps. But like
Yeah.
it's not like a red flag or anything.
Yeah.
um, shows vulnerability. Um, I I think very nice, but not necessary at first. This is hard because I don't want a trolley problem. It'd be like, oh well, do you know the people and stuff? But like, I feel like long term you have to because like I feel
Yeah.
like once again divorces are caused from people who don't know how to share their emotions because like if you don't share your emotions then your partner doesn't know what you're thinking. Like then you have to be like a
Yeah.
mind reader. So like I would put I'm between absolutely necessary and very nice but not necessary, but I'm not sure
Oh,
because like I think long term it is absolutely necessary, but
I'd
I don't
say
think that like if you get into a relationship and they're reluctant to be vulnerable, I don't think that that's like, oh,
Well,
jump their ass. Like,
let's think about like the fact that it's like a green flags tier list, which usually red flags and green flags are like, this means you'll be successful for the rest of your relationship. Like it's like a sign about the rest of the relationship, and
okay,
so this
so it's
means like
kind of the context of the beginning of it.
yeah,
Okay. In that case, I would put very nice but not necessary.
yeah. I'm the
I'm
same.
very close to absolutely necessary, but I think that in that context you're describing, it's fine. Creative, I don't think it matters.
It doesn't
You could
really
you could be
matter.
you could be a completely non-creative person. I don't think it's like well we broke up because he's not creative. Like it's not that it's, I've never heard that before.
He couldn't draw, so I
So
dumped
I
his
dumped
ass.
his ass. Everyone out there, even people who can draw, are like, no, that's me. Like, um, takes care of themselves. We had one of these on like the red flag one that we did, but like it like I think when it comes to hygiene, it's like it's like absolutely necessary.
Yeah, I would for takes care of themselves. Just like such like a hard. I'm gonna look up like when someone takes care of themselves. It means see what Google says. Okay, this is what I think it means. It means that you prioritize your well-being, which also includes, hygiene, but it also means like self-care, like eating healthy, exercising, getting
Okay,
enough
that's
sleep.
that stuff I don't think matters. I'm mostly thinking about hygiene.
Yeah, hygiene is different, but like taking care of yourself as a whole,
Yeah, I don't think it matters
I don't
personally.
think that matters.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'd like you to,
Yeah.
but like
It's like, oh,
we can
this
work
bitch
on
doesn't have
that.
an optimal sleep schedule. Dump their ass. Like,
Yeah, I get I'd
who
say
does who does do like
I'd
everything they're
say
supposed
that's
to?
an extra bonus.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Because I'm not gonna pretend like it's not like someone who doesn't and someone who does are like going to like it just bodes well because that creates less problems that are potential
Yeah.
problems.
Plus, like, if you are too self-focused, like you're too focused on taking care of yourself.
Yeah, you're like a self-care addict or something like
Yeah.
because the opposite does exist.
Then I'd be a little afraid that you'd be like, okay, well, you don't fit into my life plan, so I'm gonna dump you.
Yeah. Offers to pay. This is weird because it's like kind of gendered because like
Yeah.
because like for me for me I think like past the first date people can call me old fashioned or whatever, like it's just my values. I still think it's like I don't think it's like toxically gender rolled personally for like the guy to pay on the first date in like a heterosexual relationship, but like it but I think that past a certain point, if the other person expects you to pay or you have to ask them to help every time, I think that's kind of I think that's kind of not good if they don't have that. And so
Yeah.
I would put like see my instinct like what I want to put is like absolutely necessary, but like I would probably realistically put like very nice but not necessary. I think it's arguably kind of a red flag if they expect you to pay every time. Like that's kind of weird to me.
I guess like, well, offers to pay I view as like you offer to pay for the whole thing.
Um
Like I take this as
oh
like
it
you
because
are
if that's the
offering.
case, if it's like oh we'll split and it's like no I'll pay for the whole thing, then like that's not even necessary. Like I don't
Yeah,
like
because that's how I view it. Like, because if someone says like I'll pay,
that's fair.
that means you're paying for the whole
I
thing.
didn't think about it like that. That's
And
very
like
fair.
you don't, I don't expect I don't expect you to be like I'll pay for the whole thing ever.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
maybe on the first date, like again because it's a heterosexual relationship, but like um I don't really like it doesn't matter to me.
I'm gonna think we put this in like doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Because I think that it's like it's a nice gesture, but like I don't like I'm just like, oh, that's nice, but like I'm not even like, oh, that's like a bonus and stuff.
yeah, it's
Because
like
I
that's
then I
like
just feel
nice
bad.
of them,
Like,
but like as for a like long-term relationship, it like doesn't really say anything about like
yeah,
whether it's going to be successful. Like if the only thing that I can think of like that's a pro for you is that you offer to pay for a date every single time, I'm like, you don't have a boyfriend,
yeah,
you have a sugar
yeah,
daddy.
exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like sugar daddies and stuff. I'm like, how do they factor into this? Um, tech savvy. That's a red.
Doesn't
That's a
matter.
red flag. No, no,
It's kind of a bad
kind of a
thing.
bad thing actually. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Um, sorry. But opens doors for you.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But like I guess you could say like
Okay, that's an extra bonus.
it's an
I
extra
feel like a
bonus because
princess.
because like I mean I do that like for friends, and so I'm like, well, it shows that like
It
you
bodes
know
well for other qualities about them. Like,
yeah, I'm like it that shows that like you are willing to do like little stupid things that you know that they can do for
yeah,
themselves. It's
which typically
or
shows that they're not a person. It's like when they're stressed, they don't go into a mode where they're like I can't give anyone even 1% of my personal being right now. Like
when our friend saw this, he was like, I think everyone should be responsible for their own chores.
it was so funny.
So
That was like the
funny.
funniest thing. I was like, I disagree, but it's also so based paradoxically. It reeks of the James from Pokemon. Like, let's blow those whining women back to the Dark Ages where they belong. Like, um, doesn't drink. I don't think that. I don't. It depends on obviously what context. I think if it said alcoholic, it would be different. But I think that
Yeah.
I think because I think I'm the line because it's like, do you say that I drink? Like if someone said like, does Dylan drink? Do you think that I drink?
I think like doesn't drink like is like someone who like drinks, I think is like someone who regularly is drinking
Because
alcohol.
well, I'm thinking of it as the people who say like, oh, I don't drink, because then that implies that they don't drink at all.
Yeah, that's like the hard part.
So I don't know. We should just pick a definition and then go off of that.
Um hmm.
I think we should just go off of abstinence. I think that's the easiest because then it's the least vague.
Yeah.
So like if they don't drink at all, then it doesn't really matter. Like I'm okay if you drink a bit. Like I
Yeah.
drink a bit. Like
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
like I socially drink. So um doesn't do drugs. So
Okay.
like once again, very like this is where we get in kind of the territory where like we get into like potentially invalidating certain people and everything like that. So like I don't want this to be like, oh, I would like you're a bad person or like you're not going to succeed in a relationship if you do drugs. I know plenty of people who like do drugs that are in successful relationships, but like for me, I don't like it when my partner does drugs. That's just like a
Yeah.
bias that I have. And so like but like so for me, because we're not speaking for everyone, we're speaking like for ourselves. So for me, I say it as absolutely necessary, even though I'm
Yeah,
gonna seem
for
like a
me
prude.
too.
Like, I don't even think I'm using that word correctly, but like I'm gonna seem like I'm gonna seem like the people in Footloose taking prescription drugs. Absolutely not. I'm out of here.
Your heart medication, throw it out.
Throw it out. Not anymore.
We have a stroke like a man.
Yeah. Good with animals. Um uh see this is one of those ones cuz it's like it's completely like if you're not good with animals, are you bad with animals and stuff? But like I think if someone's just like awkward around animals, I don't care. Like
Yeah,
you
it
can be
doesn't really
neutral with
matter.
animals and it'd be fine, so I don't think it matters. Uh
I put it
yeah,
as
I was
extra
just about to
bonus.
say now that I think about it. Shared music taste doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter at
Because
all.
like we have very different music tastes and like I enjoy that aspect of our relationship where like
Yeah.
we can share our tastes with one another. It's obviously has the potential to be invalidating if you share your music taste with someone and then they're like like your music taste sucks, like, but like, you know, we don't do that. So like, yeah, makes you laugh. I know this is like
Absolutely
absolutely necessary
necessary.
for you. Um,
They need to be funny.
See, for me, it's like very nice but not necessary. I don't need them to be funny. I do.
Because you don't find me funny.
What? No, I find you funny. But I'll put it in absolutely necessary because, like, I feel you probably feel more absolutely necessary than I feel that it's not necessary. So I think it's fine.
My reasoning is that if I feel like someone can make you laugh without them being necessarily like a really funny person.
Yeah,
I feel like they just need to have a capacity to like match your energy and
that's
be
fair.
funny.
Yeah, that's fair. Play sports doesn't matter. Kind of a red
Doesn't
flag.
matter.
Uh,
Kind of a red
because I
flag.
don't like sports. um, Shared values. See, we when we did this on the red flags, we went so back and forth about what this means. Like, what does values mean? Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up on Google again. What does it mean to share values with someone? Having similar core beliefs, principles, and standards that guide your actions and interactions, leading to a stronger sense of connection, understanding, and shared purpose. This can include things like honesty, integrity, compassion, family, or spirituality.
uh, see, like the first two, I'm like, well, yeah, you both have to be honest if you're honest, like and stuff. But then it was like spirituality. I'm like, you both don't need to be spiritual. There's so many. I'm gonna, I'm gonna say for me, very nice but not necessary. Because I think that there are many values that you have to share, and then there are very many values that you don't. So like,
Well,
so I don't know.
because it says an examples of shared values are like both partners value being truthful and acting with integrity, or both partners value each other's opinions and perspectives. Both partners value family and community involvement. Both partners value continuous
See,
learning and
it's
personal
so back
development.
and forth though, because some of those I'm like, yeah, of course you need to agree on that, and then and then it's like you need to be like involved in the community, and I'm just like, no, you don't. Like one person could be like charity oriented and the other couldn't be, and that's not gonna matter. Like, so that's why I'm like, there are some values that are absolute musts for me, and then there are other values that are like, I don't care. Like, I don't care if you're also involved in like charity or spirituality or whatever. Like, I don't care.
I guess it's like then that like if you value like contributing to your community and like spending most of your time doing that, but your partner values spending time together as a couple, then you don't have shared values and it would affect your
Yeah,
relationship.
that's what
So
I
I think
mean.
it
Like
like
stuff like that, you have to be on the same page as. But things like this might be a hot take, but like I think that for a lot of like a religion, you don't have to be the same religion. Like depends on the religion and the intensity of it, but like even stuff like that, I think is debatable. People who play
that's
gotcha
so
are very
true.
spiritual. They pray to R and Jesus all the time. um,
I think
I think very nice, but not necessary.
we can put it there. My reasoning for why it's absolutely necessary is that like if you are okay with your partner not being the same religion, you both have to agree on that to be in the relationship.
Okay, I'll put it in absolutely necessary just because because there are some that you have to, it's kind of an all or nothing thing in that sense because
I think
like
it's
if you
like
don't share values, then yeah.
I just think it's like you have to like at least share like because if you value something so much that it takes up a lot of your life and your partner does not agree, like then it will probably lead to problems.
Yeah, that's fair. Um yeah, cuz I see that being problems in a lot of marriages. Tall doesn't matter.
Oh, tall. I can't read it on my
Oh,
screen.
okay.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I guess like it's an extra
Here,
bonus
maybe I can.
for me personally, but like I don't know. If you were short, I'd still date you.
Yeah. Um, gives you compliments. I feel like very nice but not necessary because I feel like some people just like, especially with like a lot of men, like we're kind of trained to not give compliments and so it might be like harder for them, but like, but I also on the other hand feel like it's hard to never give like if you're never giving someone a compliment that's kind of intentional almost because I feel like it would
Yeah.
just slip in there. So that makes me think absolutely necessary, but that makes me, but if I say absolutely necessary, it makes me sound like someone who's like, it's like every day you have to tell me that I'm beautiful, sort of thing, where it's just like, okay, if
Yeah.
you go your whole life never giving someone a compliment, there's no way that, like, there's just no way. Like, you have to, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like there's no way that you can go without like you have to.
it sounds so weird because compliments are such, like, seemingly a not necessary thing, but I'm also kind of like, but if you never do it, like, I'm even counting, like, one. Like, just give one. So, yeah, I'll put it
Yeah,
absolutely
like I
necessary.
feel like it's just like in a relationship, you should at least give your partner like some something, like tell them some reason you like them, some sort of affirmation.
Yeah,
Like you don't have, like I don't think you should give them compliments all the time. It
yeah,
should just be
because
like,
then it's just kind of disingenuous to a degree.
but like should give them compliments sometimes when you feel it, when it's honest.
Yeah, that's fair. Uh, independent. Um, for me, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it also doesn't
I
matter
a
to me.
lot of people are like, no, I can't deal with someone clingy. I can deal with someone clingy actually. Like I think I don't I don't get drained by someone's needing of me. That's partially why I'm gonna be a therapist. Like
Yeah,
so.
I'm the same way. Like I don't, if someone needs me all the time, it does not bother me.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. Reliable. Um, yeah, yeah. This is pretty important to me actually
Yeah.
because like if I can't rely on you to like be somewhere, then like that's like bad. Or I can't like rely on you to do like I feel like any context of reliability, almost all of them are like absolutely necessaryisms. Like, so you can't.
This is one that if it's in the context of early relationship and it's something that they're working on, like I don't find it completely necessary. It's just like reliable, like in its most like basic sense. If you're going through a lot of stuff, then like it's like it's a green flag, but I'm not like if you're going through a lot of stuff right now and you're trying to work on it, it's not something that like if you are ever unreliable for a period of time, but I know why and you're open with communicating it, that I'd be like, nah, it's over.
Yeah,
It's hard because I agree that it's absolutely necessary, but like if there's periods of time that you're
yeah. It's not like if
unreliable,
you ever slip into unreliable that you need to break up with them, but it's also
yeah,
like you can't not be reliable. That's like the foundation of a healthy relationship. Like, so you don't
yeah,
have to be wholly reliable. Like, you don't have to be like, I'm gonna do everything exactly when I say I'm gonna do it. Like, but like, you need to like still do it. You need to put an effort. Like, so yeah, kind, absolutely necessary.
absolutely
Yeah, you have
necessary.
to be like I don't I like why would I date someone who's like a dick? Like so
Yeah.
yeah. Um outdoorsy, kind of a bad thing.
For
Nah,
me,
for me it doesn't really matter.
it doesn't really matter because
I'm
like
kidding.
if I don't really care.
Part of me like actually like the gamer in me instinctually actually wanted to be like that's kind of a red flag like but
For
no.
me personally,
I like going outside.
I like going outside, but also outdoorsy. I view that as someone who's like, let's get up at 6 a.m. and go hiking.
Yeah, which is still fun to a degree. So like I could I don't think it's like, well, if they're outdoorsy, we're probably gonna break up. Like, so yeah, open communication. Once again, if it's early relationship and they struggle with it, then that's one thing. But like, if you get like, I think long term it's necessary.
Yeah, this is another one that's hard. Like,
But that
I'd
was so we
say,
should put it with shows vulnerability because it's the same thing.
yeah,
Like if you never show vulnerability for your entire like marriage or something, then that's not good. But like if this is the context of early
okay.
things,
Can we make a category above very nice but not necessary that's like
ah,
doesn't need to be at the beginning of the relationship,
oh my god.
but like, oh my goodness.
Okay, Adderall
Doesn't need to
buff.
be show signs at the beginning of the relationship, but necessary.
I'll just put needed long term.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe also put reliable in there because now it fits that
oh, that's
category.
um, okay. And then we've got. I kind of have to zoom out now so people can see the whole thing. Family oriented. Doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter.
If they are family oriented, cool. If they're not, cool. Like, I'm none of my business. I'll hang out with your family if you like them. I won't. But I don't mind not talking to
Okay,
them.
I can read it less now, so you will have to read it
Yeah,
out
no,
loud
it's
to me
fine.
every time.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Have a comfortable can have a comfortable silence. Oh, absolutely necessary. Like you have to. You can never have all your silences be uncomfortable.
Maybe needed long term because if
Well,
you're
yeah,
nervous,
like
if you're
yeah.
needed at the if like you're nervous at the beginning of the relationship and you fill every single silence with talking, that's not a bad thing. That's you're just nervous.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Spirituality, for me, this is an extra bonus. but but we did talk about how like spirituality is like a double edged sword. Like there are people who like have the ego of being spiritual where they're like, oh my god, I gotta channel my no because then they could turn into like these like super toxically positive people who are like, oh well, I learned how to expel all my negative energy and only a positive energy, so only positive vibes. Like, and
I when I read
those people, I'm like, don't like you. Like,
I always see this and then I'm like, I'm so worried you're gonna be my mom. You're gonna be like really into. You're gonna be like, what's your sign? You know, since you're a Virgo, that actually makes a lot of sense, and you really shouldn't be doing this because it doesn't align with like your type.
yeah,
Like your blood type probably didn't wasn't really aligned with that, and I mean, like the moon and the stars are
yeah,
really
like when
aligned
you're
in
not a
like
person anymore, you're just spiritual thing. Like, even though
yeah.
zodiac signs aren't spiritual, but like still, like, I
That's
don't think
like
they
my
are.
worry.
I'll just put it doesn't really matter because it can be such a double edged sword. Barely on social media. I think that is.
Very nice, but not
I was about to say
necessary.
the exact same thing. I think it's very nice, but not necessary. I don't expect people to not be on social media, given how prevalent it is. But I think when people are not, they are generally easier to get along with because they are not
Yeah.
being radicalized by everything. Um, doesn't take themselves too seriously. What does this even mean?
I assume that means like one you can take a joke, like if you like someone like someone pokes fun at you or teases you, like you're not like, well, that was actually very important to me, like
I think
immediately.
I think needed long term.
Yeah,
I don't want to be around someone who takes themselves too seriously. Like most times I have had friendships fall through, it's because the other person took themselves way too seriously. Like,
yeah, like I feel like you have to be a little bit easygoing.
yeah, no, you can't be like because like that's just a sign of like a fragile ego. Like, and so like taking yourself seriously, like it's like the Iroh quote, like pride is not the antidote to shame, but its source sort of
Yeah,
thing, where it's just like if you pride yourself on everything, then like that's like a straight up defense mechanism. Like, so if you don't have any humility, that's just gonna not bode well for your relationship.
yeah.
You need to be able to not do that. Um, Kind of service workers, you and I agree on this, absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
How you treat service workers reflects what I think about you as a human being. Like,
Yeah,
it's like the shopping cart test. Like,
what's a shopping cart test?
it's the test that show. Like, I'll just look it up actually. Refers to both a popular meme about morality. It's a moral litmus test. The idea,
Oh, the return
yeah, where you
test.
return it, and it's like there's no reward for doing the shopping for returning it. There's no that like it's just expected of you, but also not punished. And so like you could get away with not doing a morally good thing. So it's like a litmus test for whether or not society could is sustainable by pure goodness. Like
Yeah, I think in this scenario, it's like if you're mean to a service worker, then I'm just kind of like I like one you either haven't worked in a service job before and so you cannot empathize, which kind of scares me. And two, you're like it like worries me because I'm just like how little patience do you have that like
yeah,
this is like the most low stakes situation and you're like like
yeah.
getting mad
It
about it.
shows me that you're picky, that you take your time way too seriously. Like you're the type of person to like rush me out the door because we're not 20 minutes early to something. It shows me that you have very low tolerance for mistakes, and it shows me that you have extremely low empathy because you're not even thinking about the fact that like the servers cannot control how good your food is. Like so
And that
it's
like
like so many that I'd like legitimately put this near the top if we were ordering this. Like
and like also it like worries me because it makes me feel like you're probably like really stingy.
yeah.
Like I think that it's healthy to be like like protective of your money and not spend it like on random stuff, but being stingy is different.
Yeah. Uh green thumb, that's very nice but not necessary. I think if you're intentionally polluting the earth, it's bad.
Oh, I think well, green thumb is like to me that's literally just like you can grow plants.
Oh.
I think that's all it
Oh,
means.
I thought it means that like you're very environmentally conscious.
No, I
Oh.
think green
Okay.
thumb literally just means that you're good at growing
Oh, then
plants.
that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I
I
was
don't
gonna
care.
say it's very that's an extra bonus, but it does not matter in terms of like a relationship. I'd be like, well, that's cool.
Yeah. Gives you
Like a fun
space.
fact.
Gives you space. I know that but once again, another thing where like we are not speaking for everyone. I think for us it's like it's doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Because
for
like
me
if
it does
someone
not
never
matter.
gives me space, like it sounds insane to some people, but like legitimately, like I just don't care. Like I'm just like if someone's like attached to me at the hip, like I don't get drained by that. I don't like
Yeah,
I don't really need alone time. Like
yeah. This
as
is
long as
for
the
me
other person as
personally.
long as I don't have to accommodate them, like as long as they're okay with me doing my own thing and just parallel playing with me or something, or like even experiencing the thing that I'm experiencing purely for myself, like I don't have to like compromise what I do with them, then like I'm cool with them just hanging out. So yeah.
Yeah, I like literally don't care if you are literally there with me at all hours except for when I'm like going to the bathroom or something.
Yeah.
Like I don't care.
Does grand romantic gestures. I would say once again, this is where like people might think that I'm like kind of like too old fashioned and too traditional with it with like gender roles and everything like that. I think like I think like for a man to like in like assuming a heterosexual relationship, I feel like for a man to do a grand romantic gesture, I feel like that's very nice but not necessary. And I think for girls to do them for guys, like I generally feel like it doesn't really matter. Because I feel like typically like grand romantic gestures. Well, I'm not saying that like that's how it.
I was like, wow, you wouldn't care if
What
I did
I'm not
one?
saying no. Like if you did one, then I'd be like, that's cool. But like I feel like it's not like I feel like I don't know. I just feel like there's no logic to it. It's just my feelings. Like I legitimately just think that like guys should do that every now and then, and like girls aren't really the ones in the relationship who's like responsible for that. But like it's totally fair if people think that that's like kind of toxic or like kind of archaic of me. But like that's just kind of how I see it. Like I don't really like I don't need someone to do romantic gestures for me, but I somewhat obligated is the wrong word because that means that like you don't want to do it, but like I feel like it's my duty almost to like every now and then do some sort of grand romantic thing. Like,
I view it as very nice but not necessary. Like I like them. Um I think that they're really nice. They make me feel warm and fuzzy. But like I don't like I definitely don't need them.
yeah. Um so let's put very nice but not necessary.
Yeah.
Okay. Politically active. This one this one is the first one that I'm kind of leaning towards kind of a bad thing
I'd also kind of put as kind of a bad thing.
because like I think the percentage of people who are politically active and have it not be a symptom of some deeper insecurity or toxic compulsion is very low, just from what I've seen. I could be totally wrong, but like my instinct based on my experience with people who are politically active, especially as someone who used to be very politically active, so keep in mind that I could be like projecting, like my instinct is that like if I hear that someone's very politically active, my brain with all of its biases and such goes like that's kind of a bad thing. Like,
Yeah, I don't view this as like you understand politics or you don't have opinions. Like I don't view that like the opposite of this being apolitical. I just
yeah.
view politically active as like someone who is extremely into
Yeah,
politics.
because
And
active
for me, that's a
implies
bad thing.
yeah, active implies that like you're in the thick of it a lot. Like you're
Yeah.
like constantly staying updated and stuff. Whereas it's like, you know, the world isn't gonna end if like you like check the news like once a week instead of once a day. Like it's not like,
Yeah.
oh my, they're gonna send a nuke to this place. I have to do something. Like it's like
Yeah,
you can't do anything.
realistically,
Like
you can't do
yeah,
anything.
like obviously not speaking for people who you know like live in places like Ukraine or something, but I'm talking about like
Yeah, of
America.
course.
I live in Michigan. Like I don't need to. If you live in Michigan and you're like, I need to stay updated with the news. I'm just like, bro,
Or I
you live
guess
in
if you also have
Michigan.
like
Like,
family that are like like
yeah, of
overseas,
course.
like
Like there, but
but
like
I
let's
still
be
don't view that
real.
as
That
politically
let's be
active.
real. Most people who are politically active are not doing it because they have family that are like overseas or whatever. Like when you take population wise, like that just doesn't make sense for the amount of people that are super
Well, I was
politically
gonna say that
involved.
it. I think for me it doesn't make sense like in that context because I view someone who is politically active as someone who is like very involved in everything to do with like their side of politics. Like but I don't view someone who is keeping updated with a specific
Yeah,
like
exactly. Because politically, it's
thing.
like a big sphere of things.
Yeah, I view it as like you're involved in like staying informed about like everything to do with like our government
Yeah.
versus I'm keeping informed about this situation because it personally affects me or you know it like personally is like something that's like I'm very invested in.
Yeah.
Like if you only care about um like one specific subject like trans rights or something, I still don't really view that as being
No,
politically
that's
active.
fair. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, if it's like, well, I care about this, so now I have to also focus on taxes. Like, it's just like that.
I don't think that
Yeah.
counts.
So we'll put it in kind of a bad thing, but once again, not speaking for everyone.
Yeah.
Um, affectionate. For me,
For me, this is
for me,
absolutely
it's absolutely
necessary.
necessary. Once again, I do not think you need to be like affectionate to have a successful relationship. Like that's my personal opinion. I don't think you need to. For me, my partner does need to be affectionate. Like,
Yeah,
so, plays instrument, that doesn't matter.
doesn't
Who
matter
cares?
at all.
Um,
I think you forget that I play an instrument
I
sometimes.
literally was like, if you played an instrument and then you said that, and I was like, oh yeah, you do. So that proves your point. Confident? That doesn't matter. My
Doesn't
my
matter.
partner's not confident. I don't care. Like they're like, I don't even think it's something they need to fix. It's something I'd like for them to fix for them, but not for me.
Yeah, it's like I'd like that for you, but like it does not matter in terms of the relationship at all.
Yeah, unless
If
it like
you never
manifests in
became
toxic
confident,
ways.
I wouldn't. No,
Yeah, artistic skills, doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
I'm gonna, you know what? Okay, that's an extra bonus.
I guess that's true. Yeah, because like then it meshes well with
Yeah, you can get cute
me
gifts.
personally.
You can help them with stuff. Like that's
Yeah,
cool. No emotional baggage. Where is this fictional person that doesn't
I
have any
know.
emotional baggage? Show me the
Can you
person with
put make
no
a new
emotional baggage.
category that was like doesn't exist?
Literally doesn't exist. What are you talking about? You're crazy. Um, that's kind of a red flag because you do because why you lying? Like,
Yeah, no,
that just means you have no awareness. If you have no emotional baggage.
like nothing ever affected you ever in any way.
Yeah, no. Even if you've moved past stuff, I still count it as like baggage because like you still like because you have to still catch impulses, you know? Like you still have to like you have tendencies. Like
I'm like, bro was not alive
yeah.
during 2020.
Yeah. Goes to therapy, very nice but not necessary.
Yeah, I'd say that's
Because
very
people
nice
who
but
go
not
to therapy
necessary.
typically get typically I would say mm, it's hard to say because like there are a lot of people who like go to therapy and then like kind of use it as an excuse to like be a bad person because there are people who are like well my therapist says I need to work on myself so I'm gonna be an asshole to you like it's just
Yeah.
like they misinterpret on purpose sort of thing but
Mhm.
like I generally obviously I'm biased, but like I see going to therapy as like a very healthy thing for an individual to
Yeah,
willingly partake in.
I think we can just like assume the best of this and put very nice but not necessary
Yeah.
because like I think that those things would be counted under other categories.
Yeah. Also, we got like 20 minutes left, and we still gotta get through all these, so we should go generally fast. But
Okay.
we don't have to if we think stuff if we think stuff is important, then to talk about, then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Shared hobbies.
Um,
I
I would say needed long term or very
Yeah,
nice.
you have to share at least
You have
one
to share at
hobby.
least
The
one.
most miserable marriages I've ever seen are people who have literally no hobbies in common. Like,
Yeah, you need to have like at least one thing you like to do
yeah.
together.
Even if it's just like watch a movie. Like it's just like, do you both like movies? Okay, cool, that's a shared interest. Like
Yeah,
because believe it or not, some people don't like movies. Like so, calm under pressure, that doesn't matter.
doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it's an extra bonus because it's
Yeah.
nice if you don't have to calm them down, but like it's not necessary at all. Like intelligence,
Um,
that's a tough one for me.
I'd say
I do have some pizza in me. So like I do get kind of annoyed at the stupidity of other people
I was gonna say I
instinctually.
was like if you're really stupid, then I might get
Cuz
frustrated with you.
cuz it's like okay, is average intelligence count as intelligence? Like does it just mean the possession of some intelligence or does it mean highly intelligent or above
I'm gonna say that
average?
this means that you have some intelligence.
Okay, then for me that's needed
Necessary.
okay, yeah, sure. Cuz like but if you're dumb, you can get smarter, like I guess. But then again, IQ doesn't really change
I
over
don't know
time.
if I want to like help you
That's
get
fair.
smarter.
That's fair. They
I just feel like I don't know if I can connect with you if I think that you're dumb from the first date.
yeah. Um they exercise. Okay, that's an extra bonus.
Yeah, extra bonus.
Doesn't smoke. For me that's necessary.
Yeah, for me it's completely
Once again,
necessary.
not saying if you smoke then you will never find it's just our biases. We prefer that. So like I'm not saying that like is bad for you relationship
Yeah, you can
wise.
find someone who does smoke.
Yeah.
And but for me,
I have friends that smoke, but I just want to
Yeah.
date them. Like so speaks positively about exes. No, I think that's very good actually. Like
Yeah.
I think if you bring up your ex all the time, that's a problem. But like
Yeah, I
if
was
you
gonna-
but if when you speak about your exes it's positive, then like that shows me that like you're mature. Like so
I do think that this is like I'm kind of like indifferent because actually maybe I feel like I would be like, why are you even talking about them?
Yeah, no, like I think it depends on whether or not they brought it up, which is hard because it doesn't specify that. If you bring up your ex a lot, then like that's weird, or at all. I think that's kind of weird unless it's very applicable to what you're talking about. Because I think comparing your partner to your ex is like really weird. But like I think that like I think it's actually like a very big red flag for me when like people only have negative things to say about their exes, because then that makes me wonder like, okay, if we break up, how are you gonna like Taylor Swift twist this into me being like the worst human being ever and you being a perfect angel sort of thing?
What about like during the relationship versus like after, like like you only have negative things to say about like during the relationship, like, or like how it ended, but like as a person now you're like, I mean, they're fine, like they've changed their like
No, but
opinions, and
that's what I mean. As long as you have some nuance to it. Because if you still have no nuance to it, because obviously some people can like grow out of selection biases. Like people will obviously like, people basically like subconsciously will be drawn to people who are like abusive or something if like they
yeah,
have low self-esteem. Like that's like proven with science and everything like that. And then like if you realize that, then yeah, odds are that your exes were all pieces of shit. But in those cases where you have not come to some sort of epiphany that you need to stop doing that, and you still just talk badly about your exes, like, yeah, I don't know what it is. I just only run into people that are terrible for me. Like, that's like a red flag for me. That's like me scared. I'm like scared from that point on. I'm like, oh,
for me
what went wrong? Like,
for me it doesn't really matter, it because I need more, this is like a needs more information, it
sure,
like,
I'm fine with that because it's so vague.
yeah, because like I don't want you to talk about your ex really.
Yeah, stable job, very nice, but not necessary.
Yeah,
I think that I would put it in an extra bonus, but I think that like there's a lot of problems that get caused from not stable jobs, and it brings a lot of stress to the table, if the especially if it's not paired with someone who is like responsible, because like there are responsible people who just happen to not have stable jobs because of bad luck or something, but like I think you need to like it just brings a lot to the table. So
yeah,
yeah, honesty needed long term.
needed long term,
Yeah,
yeah.
arguably absolutely
I
necessary
would
from
even
the
say it's
beginning.
absolutely necessary because like if you're not honest with me at the beginning, then I don't know if I'm going to get over that.
Yeah, that's fair. Uh, fun, absolutely necessary. I
Yeah,
need to have fun
actually.
with you. You're like, like
If I don't like, you can consider yourself not fun, but if I don't find you fun, then I'm gonna be like, I don't, I don't know if I can get along with you because
yeah,
like I have a lower bar for fun than other people though. I know some other people would be like, no, well, they're boring, but like they're stable and they're sweet and etc. But like, I'm like, I don't know. I just
yeah,
think
no.
someone is
I'm
fun
pretty
because
picky
they're
about the
silly.
funness. So
Yeah.
yeah. Homebody. See, this depends because like extroverts talking about homebodies are like would say that like I'm a homebody, but like I work out and I like go to like I like go to social events sometimes, and but like because I like stay at home such a huge percentage of the time, I'd be considered a homebody. But like if you're like literally like a hermit, then I actually think that that's kind of a bad thing.
For me, this like doesn't matter because like if as long as you're willing to go to stuff with me in some capacity,
Yeah, if you prefer to be at home but you're willing to leave, then that's fine.
yeah, like a homebody I feel like is someone who is like prefers, like if you're like willing to go to some stuff with me and sometimes you're like, nah, I just want to stay home, I don't care.
Okay, that's fair. Likes to travel. It's kind of a bad thing. I don't like going places. No, I,
This doesn't really
yeah, it
matter.
doesn't matter.
If you like to travel, then I'll go with you. If you don't like
Just
traveling,
don't make me.
then I'll probably still want to go to some places,
Yeah,
but
don't bleed us dry and get rid of our retirement funds so you can do that. But like, it'll be fun. Like so.
yeah.
emotionally intelligent. I think long term this is absolutely necessary.
Yeah,
But like, I
same.
mean, like when we started dating, I wasn't emotionally intelligent, and so like if you claim that this is absolutely necessary, you're lying. Like,
No, yeah,
so,
emotionally intelligent. I'm very much a I can fix him
yeah,
person.
I think emotional intelligence is I I think emotional intelligence is like the
What do you
most.
mean I don't like to go places? Uh-huh, sure.
I don't even know who you're referring to, Nick, because we like going places. Um, just not as much as other people. Like, because we don't like going places, but we also do like going places. So we're very in the middle. So I don't know what extreme you're implying here. Um, but emotionally intelligent, like I think if you have an emotionally intelligent partner, that's like the biggest like indicator that you're gonna be successful. But like also, it's something that I think like people underestimate how every human being has like the ability to gain emotional intelligence. Even if you're like literally sociopathic, you can literally like gain emotional intelligence, and it's like, you know, it's like easier than gaining actual intelligence, like because like you're not born one way or the other, like so.
I that's why I had us add needed long term because there's a lot of things that I'm like, okay, I need this long term, but if you don't have it at the beginning, I'm like, I can fix you.
Yeah. um Supportive, you have to have that from
Yeah.
the beginning, like you just have to, like you can't just, because once again if you're not supportive, then like I'm probably going to carry that to a degree, like so.
Yeah.
Puts the shot, it's literally on here.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god, wait, that's crazy.
Goodness.
Okay.
Um, that's a red flag.
What? Yeah. Why are you putting the shopping cart back? I think everyone should be responsible.
I think everyone should be irresponsible with
Yeah.
their own shopping carts.
Nah, I think.
I'd say I don't want to put it in necessary, but I'm like, also if you don't, I'm just
If
like,
you just leave
why?
your shopping cart out, I'm just kind of like, you know what?
I guess it is
I'm gonna
necessary.
put needed long term. Like,
I guess it's like if you don't do it and I tell you and then you do it forever
yeah,
after
because
that,
maybe
then
you
I'm
just
like,
learned that you shouldn't or don't need to, and then I could just be like,
yeah,
hey,
like if you had bad parents and they told you you don't need to do that, and then I
yeah,
tell you, yeah, you do, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know, then I'd be like,
me
okay.
not putting the shopping cart back, and I'm like become ungovernable.
That is absolutely true.
I'm
It's just
glad
I'm
you
like
agree that it is like such a good litmus test for society. Like,
it's one of those things that I'm like
I wouldn't leave you if you didn't do it once. Like,
yeah,
so
if you didn't do it once, then I'd be like I'd just ask you like, "Oh, why? What happened?"
yeah,
Like I think it's one of those things where I would just be baffled if you didn't. I'd be like,
yeah.
"What?
Be like, why? It takes like
Why?"
2 seconds.
It's like the easiest thing
It's like
ever.
the definition of the bare minimum is putting back your shopping cart.
So easy and like it takes like no time. Like I'd be like, "Why did you like have to like did someone get hurt and you had to leave that second?" Like I feel like what extreme thing happened that made it so
Yeah,
that way you couldn't put away your shopping cart?
that's crazy. Self.
Actually, we should put it in absolutely necessary because I'm thinking about it. I'm like,
Nick has swayed you.
he has because I'm like, I literally just be like, why? Like,
Why? Self-reflective, needed long term. You gotta be
yeah,
self-reflective long term. Once again, emotional intelligence, self-reflectiveness, you can learn these skills. So I actually think they're very easy to teach to people as long as you understand the mechanisms of it. So
100.
you
Yeah.
mean I like how you self-diagnose it as manipulation and not just like influence or something, like you self-identify as a manipulator. Oh my god, I changed someone's mind. I must have manipulated them.
If anyone was gonna do that, it'd be Nick.
Yeah.
He'd be like, nah, I'm a male manipulator. I'm
Yeah.
proud.
Nick would be like, no, I'm not influential and charismatic. I'm manipulative. um, ambitious. That doesn't really matter.
I'd say for me, it's an extra bonus
Okay.
because I'm
I'm
like,
I'm I'm cool with that.
because I like it when my partner's ambitious.
Damn, he was really like me then.
I like it when like they have like lots of big goals because I like feeling like I can help them with it.
That's fair. I also like helping with it. Yeah, I agree with that. Thoughtful gift giver. Very nice, but not necessary for me.
Yeah, if you don't know how to give gifts, it's kind of
Yeah,
hard.
that's a once
Especially
again, it's a skill. Like,
it's a skill. And it's something you can learn, but also I don't think it's completely necessary so long as like you're not just like, well, I'm just gonna get them whatever, and then you just get them like something that they don't even like. I guess like if
yeah,
you're not thinking about them at all, that's a red flag. But if you can't think of a especially thoughtful gift, then that's not a red flag.
yeah, I agree. Um, good hygiene.
Absolutely
Absolutely
necessary.
necessary. Yep.
This is also one though that like if you ever slip up, it wouldn't mean that I like leave you.
Yeah, it's like
If
generally.
you go through like a depression, then
Yeah, like I like if happy was a trait on here, I wouldn't be like if you ever have a bad day, I'm breaking up with you. Like it's just like, well, it's an
yeah,
exception. Like so, quick to text back. Very nice, but not necessary.
yeah,
Because like
I'm the
I
same.
don't think it's just a little bonus. I think it's like a huge quality of life change personally if you're like
Yeah,
super quick about it. Um, good with kids. Um, I think needed long term because I want to have kids. So like that, but like that's just for me. Obviously, if you don't like if you don't want kids, then
I'm gonna break up with
you're
you.
good with kids.
I'm not good with
I think
kids.
you're good with kids. I think you just have a very high bar. I think you need to be like. I think you're thinking you need to be like Miss Frizzle. I just mean that you're not just like, oh, hey there, little one. Like, but you're like, oh, you drew this picture. That's so cool. Like, I'm just like, that's like all you need. Like, I just need you to be like good with kids generally. Um, I'm good with kids even though I don't like them that much. But, um, so I'm gonna put as like needed long term personally.
Okay, yeah,
It's like if
I'm
you're
fine
gonna
with
have
that.
kids, I feel like you should be good with kids. And once again, I think it's a skill. I don't think you're born with the being good with kids gene or anything.
Yeah,
Uh, a good cook, very nice, but not necessary.
yeah,
Because it's very nice that you're a good cook, but if you were not, then like then like I would still date you. But like
yeah,
also you are also dating me, and I am not a good cook. So,
yeah,
shared movie and TV show taste. Uh, very nice but not necessary because like you can have hobbies that overlap in other areas, but
yeah,
like it's also way just easier if like that because that just sets you for life if you're just if that's the hobby that you can both enjoy because they're so it's such an infinite thing to do like
yeah. I'd say that that's very nice, but not
oh whoops
necessary.
yeah shares household chores uh needed
Needed
long
long
term.
term.
Yeah, once again, if you just weren't taught that, then like that's fine. But like I think like long term, you need to just like I think like literally like one of the most subtly strong things about our relationship is that like we have cleanly defined a fixed amount of chores for both of us to do. It's not like, okay, you do the dishes on this day and then I'll do the dishes on this day because then that creates arguments like, well, why did I have to do it during spaghetti night and you had to do it during this night and stuff like that. Like once we just agreed, like I'm like it's like okay, you cook, I do dishes. Like you create piles for the laundry, I do the laundry and then fold it. Like stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like that's so subtly so it makes everything it avoids something. It's like a preventative. People always think about like good relationship qualities as like what is the word when like you're fixing something? Like it's reparatory or something like like people always think of it as like a a thing to like your ability to repair damage whereas like I value a lot of our relationship as like preventative measures to like things
Yeah.
because I just think we've got like a good system for everything um organized okay that's an extra bonus.
Yeah. That's an extra bonus.
I wouldn't even say that I'm organized. I just think that I'm not messy like
Yeah.
um adventurous. Doesn't really matter. If you want to go on adventures, I'll go with you, but also like I'm not gonna put it in kind of a bad thing, even though I'm leaning more towards that than extra bonus. But like I'm cool with doing the same thing every day. And as long as it's not too much, I'm cool with not doing adventurous. I'm cool with just um
I'm kind of leaning towards extra bonus. Like, so we can put it in doesn't really matter because, like, I like it if you're like, let's go do this thing today.
I guess I've gotten better at doing that stuff, so I'll put that there. Good listener have to be long term. It's a
Yeah.
learned skill, and you have to have it long term. Loyal, absolutely necessary. You can't not
Yeah.
like how would a not loyal relationship look? Probably bad. Like,
Yeah.
um, takes an interest in your interest needed long term.
Yeah.
You gotta like
I'd honestly actually I'd say that this needs to be an absolutely necessary because if you start off by being like that's when like you would be the most likely to be interested in their interests is during the honeymoon phase of the beginning of the
oh
relationship.
yeah.
And if
So
you don't even have it during that,
that's a good point. That's a really
then
good point.
I don't think it's gonna work.
That's fair. Good relationship with parents. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, doesn't
Parents
matter.
could be assholes. I don't know. Like, um, respects boundaries. Well, if he, once again, if the person doesn't have really any boundaries, then like I don't need
I
them to
view
have
this as
boundaries. But
absolutely necessary because it's like if you've set a boundary and you cross
that's
it,
what I mean. That's what I was gonna say. Like but if they have a boundary, then because I'm weirdly okay not having boundaries. But like if I have a boundary and then you cross it, then I'm like okay, you are blatantly disrespecting me at that point.
yeah,
Clingy,
absolutely necessary.
mm, maybe needed long term. I I we're so weird. I weirdly think absolutely necessary because like for us and stuff like I just like
I'm
that.
clingy and I need you to be
Yeah.
clingy too.
Then I'm just gonna feel bad for being clingy. Like it's just
Yeah,
like I just like sue me. I like to hang around my partner all the time. Like
yeah.
um wealthy, that's a red flag. No, it doesn't matter.
I'd
Extra
say
bonus.
extra bonus
Extra
because
bonus. I'm not even gonna put very nice because like
cool
it
that
could come
you
with bad stuff.
cool that you don't have to worry about money.
Yeah. I mean, personally, as an alpha male, I don't like women to make more money than me, so like I would put it as kind of a red flag. Likes to play video games, very nice for me, but not necessary.
Okay, for me personally, this is absolutely necessary.
I'm leaning more towards absolutely necessary than very nice, so like I'll agree.
If you don't play like if
Yeah,
my
I guess it.
partner doesn't play video games, and then I'm like, then I can't
I
play
feel
video
like
games with
I
you.
feel like I do frequently underestimate how much I play video games. So I feel like it'd be weird if I had a partner who didn't. Like I feel like it's just
Yeah.
it's something I don't think about because my partner does like video games. So like I feel like I'd feel weird
Yeah,
for
like
doing
I'm
it.
like if I thought about having a partner that just like does not play video games, doesn't like them, I'd be like, well, what the fuck are we gonna do?
Yeah. No, that's fair. Positive attitude, doesn't really matter. Extra bonus, maybe.
Yeah, I guess it's an. I think honestly, I'd say it doesn't even really matter because if you're like negative, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. We can put it
Just don't
in
take me
extra
like because
bonus.
you can have a neutral attitude. That's a thing. You can just be like, I
Yeah,
don't care. Like,
like if you're even if you're like a negative person, so long as like you're not trying to get me to be negative, I view it as like like you're just like Black Cat.
yeah.
Like you're like April from
Yeah, exactly.
like
Yeah. Likes to dance, doesn't matter. Who cares?
yeah, doesn't matter.
Likes to read. I don't care if you read or not. I'm not reading the books. Like
Yeah, doesn't matter.
financially responsible. This you need long
You
term
need
for me.
long
You
term.
cannot be. I will not date someone who's financially irresponsible. That is one of the easiest things to tear a relationship apart if you do not learn financial stability. Like
Yeah.
likes to ability to read optional. Um, last three things likes to party. Kind of a
Kind of a
bad
bad
thing.
thing.
I'm so glad we're on the same page. People are gonna be watching this video and be like, "These people are weird. I don't like these people." But I'm just like, nah, I don't like partying. I like actively view partying as like a bad thing, because like not because I'm like oh no the drugs, no no everything. I'm literally like an old man. I'm like, it's so loud. Why do people even like this? This is just weird. Like
Yeah, my idea of like an awesome party is like we play
Tapple.
we play board games and we play Jackbox and Smash and
Yeah,
there's
I'm literally like
and there's
imagining a
snacks
perfect party, and it's board games and video games with everyone. Like
and there's snacks and maybe there's like some more quiet music um and there's like a maximum of like 15 people.
yeah, likes to play board games.
Literally necessary for our relationship.
I think realistically it's very nice, but not necessary. If you did not need to play board, if you did not play, I do not put that on the same level as hygiene. It's someone's like, I'm not really into board games. I'm like, okay, well if you like TV and video games and stuff like that, then that's fine.
Yeah, that's true. Very nice but not necessary.
Um, takes care of themselves. Wait, what? Wasn't that already here?
Yeah. Did we not put it on the list?
I guess it must have come back down here or something. But
We put that in
very nice. But
very nice but not necessary.
I could have sworn we put that somewhere. Either way, all right, everyone.
No, wait. Yeah, it's I see it there.
Where?
It's on. Okay, that's an extra bonus.
Okay, there we go. Twice. All right, everyone. Final list. Under that's a for the green flags tier list. Me and my girlfriend Chloe, we came up with this. We decided that for us, with all of our personal biases intact, it is for under that's a red flag. No emotional baggage, because like how you gonna have no that doesn't exist. So if you say that you have no emotional baggage, I'm concerned. Depending on how you define baggage, the way we define baggage, that's how we put it. Under kind of a bad thing, politically active and likes to party. Under doesn't really matter, creative, offers to pay, tech savvy, doesn't drink, shared music taste, played sports, tall, independent, outdoorsy, family oriented, spirituality, green thumb, gives you space, plays instruments, confident, speaks positively about exes, homebody, likes to travel, good relationship with parents, positive attitude, likes to dance and likes to read. Under okay, that's an extra bonus. We've got good conversationalist, takes care of themselves, take care of themselves, opens doors for you. Good with animals, artistic skills, calm under pressure, they exercise, ambitious, organized, adventurous, and wealthy. Under very nice but not necessary, barely on social media, does grand romantic gestures, goes to therapy, stable job, thoughtful gift giver, quick to text back, a good cook, shared movie and TV show taste, and likes to play board games. Under needed long term, which means that's fine if it's not there early on, but like a long term, you definitely need this. Open communication, shows vulnerability, reliable, have comfortable silence, doesn't take themselves too seriously, shared hobbies, emotionally intelligent, self-reflective, good with kids, shares household chores, good listener, financially responsible, and under absolutely necessary for us personally at the very beginning of the relationship, you got to have these qualities. Admits mistakes, doesn't do drugs, makes you laugh, shared values, gives you compliments, kind to service workers, affectionate, intelligent, doesn't smoke, honesty, fun, supportive, put shopping cart back, good hygiene, loyal, takes an interest in your interests, it respects boundaries, clingy, and likes to play video games. It's so funny that clingy for most people is going to be like the one in that's a red flag,
Yeah.
but like for us, it's like not. No, I totally get if people disagree with that. That's just our preference. I don't expect everyone to be like, I'm not saying like actually it's healthy if you're clingy, or actually it's not healthy to be not clingy. Like I'm not saying anyway. We're just literally like, I mean, I like my partner to be clingy. Like so.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, thank you all for joining. I had a fun time doing this, and maybe we'll do the red flags tier list. I need to decide whether I think that it would be a little too problematic, or if it would push the culture of that, or whether or not I think it would be a good opportunity to show how little red flags actually matter, because I think we'd have some opinions that surprise people. But because I think red flags are kind of based in the sense that like they're just never going to get better. Like if you're just, like people just have the assumption like, well, it's not my duty to fix you and stuff. So like or help another person. So we'll we'll see later. But either way, I had a good time. Do you have any closing thoughts?
I have no thoughts.
You have no thoughts. Okay, I also have no thoughts. So we're gonna end stream here. Goodbye, everybody.